Namaste. Hello and welcome to Zoom Yoga number 52. As ever, we'll start with the opening quote. It's a very simple one today. Every breath brings an opportunity to be better. Every breath brings or provides an opportunity to be better. So wherever you are in your life, whatever you're doing, you can stop, take a breath, forgive yourself, forgive others, and start again. It is as simple as that. You don't have to wait for a special day, a special diet, a special moment. It's now. We only have now. Okay, today we're going to start with the Ha breathing. So if we stand up, and we're just going to aerate the lungs, loosen the back. So get a comfortable stance. We're going to raise the arms, inhale through the nose, and then we flop down into a forward bend. We can relax the knees with a audible ha. It's very simple, nice and loose. Inhale as we come up, inhale through the nose, and then very loosely and freely ha. As you bend at the legs and you come down floppy. When you're ready to come up, inhale, raise the arms, gentle stretch up, exhale down. And that's it. So just continue in your own pace. Inhale, nice and loose, free through the nose, and then as you allow the hands to come down and swing, and allow the back to bend its first point of resistance. But you're bending the knees as well, so this is very loose. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we go down. Wait for your natural pause, as always, and then so you get the idea. You can pause the video and do as many of these as you're comfortable with. Maybe we'll do another 5. Just loosening the body up, getting the stale air out of the lower lobes of the lungs, the alveoli, and just getting some energy into the body. You can take a comfort breath in between each movement and trying to become aware of what's happening to the body, any circulation, any tingling, any aches, any lightness, any heat. Slow, smooth, deep breathing. Gently you can lean back, open the arms, and then lower them down. A couple more. Heel toe the feet together. And we're going to do simple knee exercises. So the knees and the feet are together. Place your palms on your knees. And we're going to exhale as we go forward, clockwise. Inhale. As we come up, exhale forward, clockwise. Inhale. Nice and slow. Remember, you're always trying to make the movement in line with the breath. So you're not doing this unless you breathe this quickly, which very few of us do naturally. So exhale forward. Inhale. As you come around. Slow, smooth, and deep. Clockwise. And you can feel what's happened to the thigh muscles. You can feel the attachments in the patella. Stop and have a break anytime you want. Get that deep breath into the lungs. Get rid of any possible lactic acid. If you don't need to stop, you can change direction. Exhale forward, anti-clockwise. Inhale as you come up. So you decide what's right for you. 3 rounds of each, 5 rounds, 10, 15, 20, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not getting out of breath and you're comfortable in the practice. With awareness of what's happening to the body. Gently come up. Stand tall. Allow the body to breathe naturally. And let it recalibrate. Now I'm going to step out a little, but just far enough so you can still take the knees in and touch, and that's your safety valve. If you're too far out and you can't take the knees in to touch comfortably, so this is in case we slip or lose concentration, but we're just going to come in with the knees, down, around, and up. Exhale down, around, and up, very slowly. You may get some snap, crackle, and pop, but this is just the ligaments, the tendons, the structures moving out of their stagnant position. Sometimes it can be the air bubbles in synovial fluid, the fluid in the joints, popping. So nice and slow down, around, and up. And I'm sure you can feel what's happening to the ankles, the knees, and the hips. The shoulders as well, if you go down, and then you can actually push up with the hands, which engage the arms and shoulders. Or you can remain light with the pressure on the knees. Nice and easy, nice and slow with awareness. So you can come up, have a wee break, allow the body to recalibrate, stand tall. Slow, smooth, deep breaths. Remember, 70% of the metabolic waste is released through the lungs. It cleanses the lungs, the breath, oxygenates the blood, calms the nervous system, purifies the thought processes. So these simple exercises are working at a deep cellular level. The other 30% of metabolic waste is urine, sweat, and feces. So now we'll change direction, hands on the knees again. We go down and out, around and up. Exhale as we go down, around and up. Exhale down, around, inhale up. Again, you've checked that your knees are in a comfortable position when you turn them in, so you're no risk of damaging anything. Or less risk. I can hear my knees cracking and popping, but it's okay. Nice and easy. So you decide the number that's right for you. You can pause the video. You can build up your own practice. You just take from each movement what you need and build your own practice. If this posture isn't for you, then you don't have to do it. I think you get the idea. Up we come. Stand tall. Take an inventory. How are you feeling? Any heat, any cold, any uncomfortable parts, any lightness, any warmth, any tingling? Are you out of breath? Did you do too many? Are your legs sore? And then you adjust your practice accordingly. Okay, so now we find any wall that you can lean against. If you don't have a wall, you can just do a simple chair like this, a simple squat. But if you do have a wall, you sit down. It can be as high as this. You don't have to go down, but ultimately, with time, you're aiming to get the thigh muscles parallel to the ground, but you don't want your knees beyond your toes. So you don't want your feet close to the wall when you come down. Your knees will go far beyond your toes. That's too much pressure on the joint. So you get comfortable. Of course, I've been doing this for a number of years. So right away, I can sit down with my thighs parallel to the ground, relax, totally relax upper body, keep the back straight, and breathe slowly and deeply. And my knees are directly above my ankles. They're not over my toes. You don't want the heels so close to the wall. But again, you can be down. You can come down to this position, or even this position. Find the one that works for you. But remember and keep enough energy to get out of the position with class. So you can relax the arms, shoulders, neck, back straight. Or you can fold the arms. Breathe slowly and deeply. But always remember and keep enough strength to come out of the posture with class. You don't want something like this. Hands all over the wall. But you get the idea. So when you're ready, ease yourself out. Back onto the mat. I'm going to do some lateral stretching. So get a comfortable stance. Heels in line with the edge of the mat to ensure when you go into other postures, you'll keep your balance. But just stand tall for a few seconds. Take a few slow, deep yogic breaths. So remember, it's one breath, but you break it down into 3 parts. So as you inhale, you're inflating the abdomen like a balloon. You're then expanding the rib cage, and then the final puff of air comes up in the clavicle area. You're waiting for your natural pause, and then you're exhaling. Which helps to flush away any lactic acid you've built up in that chair position. So now we're just going to do very simple lateral stretches. So get a comfortable position, it doesn't have to be so wide. We inhale and we'll just slide down to the right on the exhalation. The first point of resistance. You're not taking the top shoulder forward. It's a lateral stretch. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we go down. And remember that your stretches will be different every day, depending on what you've put your body and your mind through the previous day or the previous hours. Inhale as we come up. Exhale as we slide down. Remember, it takes 6 seconds for muscles, tendons, ligaments to start to release. So you let the breath do the work. Be careful not to twist the torso. You don't want the top shoulder coming around. It's a lateral stretch. If you want to increase the width of your stance, then please do so. Now we introduce an arm. So we're going to raise the right arm and relax. Raise the right arm, stretch up right through the torso and over to the left. 3 breaths in this position. So we inhale, we stretch up. Getting a lovely stretch through the whole length of the torso and soften. Inhale, stretch up. And then soften. Inhale, stretch up. And soften. Inhale as we come up. Relax. Inhale, lift up. Turn the palm. And then you stretch from the shoulders to the elbow. Elbow to the wrist. Wrist to the fingers. These type of postures are not for everyone. A lot of people get bored, but they release a lot of tension and they give a lot of energy with the slow, deep breathing. So now the left arm. Inhale, stretch it up, and then relax. Inhale, lift up. Exhale as we go to the right. And each side is always different. I feel a slight ache in my left hip. Too much cycling yesterday. But inhale, stretch up and soften. And try not to rest on this leg. Try not to put the weight. This is just sliding down. It's not being used as support. Inhale, stretch through and soften. So again, you can stay here 3 breaths, 5 breaths, whatever you're comfortable with. But when you're ready to come up, inhale as you come up, stretch up and soften. Inhale and really lift up. And this is a stretch that you're taking out. So you're not being passive. You're not just dropping the arm down. That's just a shoulder movement. But if you stretch up and keep that stretch, turn the hand around, and then you stretch right out as you come down. And it's a wonderful stretch right through the side of the body and right through the arm. And as you're noticing, the arm doesn't always want to come down. So I'm not holding my arm at all. With the continual stretch, and the muscles are still wanting to do their job, and it wants to stay there. But we'd be here all day, so I'll force it down. Check it you're comfortable in your stance. I'm going to do this once more. I'm going to raise the right arm. Doesn't matter how many breaths you take while raising the arm. But once it's at the top, you relax. Then you re-engage, lift, 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 and that's what you take over. And you can feel the stretch down the inside of the leg. You can feel the stretch the whole length of the torso. Inhale, stretch up. So just be careful you're not taking the top shoulder forward. Inhale, stretch up, and then soften down. And don't fall into the trap of leaning on the leg. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you get. It matters that you feel that there's a stretch within the body. It depends what other things you're doing with your body. When you're ready to come out, inhale, lift up, relax. Inhale, re-engage, turn the hand. And then you stretch from the shoulder to the elbow, elbow to the wrist, wrist to the fingers. I'm actually feeling quite achy today because yesterday I did a lot of cycling uphill. So it's shortened all my muscles in my legs, and I can feel it today. And it would be the day that I'm teaching mostly standing postures. No matter. So last one with the left arm. You can stand for a few breaths. You can say a mantra. You can smile, free serotonin. Remember, every breath is an opportunity to be better. So if your mind is still racing, if you can't shut out the noise, just take a breath, smile, forgive yourself, forgive others, and start again. Raise the left arm. When it's at the top, inhale, lift up. You can see what happened. You're lifting up the whole body. The whole side of his body gets a stretch. Intercostals right down through the hips. And then as you exhale, that's what you take down. Inhale, stretch through. And soften. Again, you'll find that you've gone much further than the last time without even trying. Allowing the body to release of its own accord with slow, smooth, deep breathing. 6 seconds it takes for muscles, tendons, ligaments to start to release. So there's no need to bounce. There's no need to be frenetic in our movements. When you're ready to come out, inhale as you come up. Soften. Inhale, lift up. Turn around. And then remember, shoulder to elbow, elbow to wrist. Wrist to fingers. And you see how much the movement has slowed down. And now my arm is there. It doesn't want to come any further. So I'm not trying to control this arm at all. And it just wants to stay there. And I feel a wonderful circulation tingling right down to my fingertips. I am not consciously contracting any muscles to hold the arm in this position. So now I will force it down. Still doesn't want to go. It's very calm in these simple stretches. Nothing complicated. It's not rocket science, although yoga is a science. Take a few comfort breaths. Okay, we're going to swivel on our right heel. And we can take our left foot in 45. We're going to turn on the torso. And all we're going to do is raise the arms and bend over this knee, this leg. You can bend the knee if you wish, or you can keep it straight. But try and keep the inside of the knee overtaking the outside. This will give you the locking position of the leg and help you with the balance. Inhale, raise the arms. And we're not going to try and win any medals. We're just coming forward to the first point. I say my hamstrings are very tight today, so this is far enough for me. You can release at the knee if you wish. You can keep the legs straight, but you come down to the first point of resistance and just start to breathe. You keep this leg straight, you keep the left leg straight. And that's 6 seconds. Start to breathe. And remember, if you enter into a posture and it doesn't feel comfortable, you come out of it. It doesn't have to look the best, but you try your best. A very tight stretch through the hamstrings. You're trying to keep this back leg straight and not relaxing it, as I've just released there, release the knee. And you're trying to get the inside of the knee to overtake the out, which keeps the knee locked. When you've had enough, inhale as you come up. Exhale down. Turn on the right heel. Turn on the left. And then take the right foot in 45, which allows you to turn your hips around. So we do the same to the left-hand side. Again, this is not so complicated, but you can feel the benefits. We're on the edge of our mat, the heel's on the edge of the mat, the side of the foot's on the edge of the mat, which keeps everything in line. Inhale as we raise our arms. Put the awareness on the inside of the knee overtaking the outside. As you come forward, nice and loose to the first point of resistance. If it's shaking, then it's not for you today. And then let's let the breath do the work. I cannot get so far today because of my exertions yesterday. And remember, if you only get as far as your hand onto your thigh, that's also okay. If you only get as far as this is okay too. If you were to do this posture every day for the next month, you'd get the torso flat on the thigh, you'd get the legs straight. It is recommended that you do a posture for 30 consecutive days, and then you know that posture inside out, and you know who you are within that posture. But I think you get the idea. Up you come. Lower the arms. Turn on the left heel. Turn on the right. So check your stance. Are you comfortable? I'm going to do elbow and knee now. So I already know that I can go a little bit further. So we're going to turn the right foot again. Turn the right ankle. Turn the left foot in 45. Keep this open. The tendency is always to take it in the inside. So you keep the inside of the knee trying to overtake the outside. we're just going to do something like this, across, 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 elbow and knee. So you want to try and keep the knee directly above the ankle, so I can come back up and just edge out a little bit further. So when I go down, it's straight up and down, as opposed to the knee going way over the toes. Keep the torso open. Keep this leg straight. Inhale. Open the torso. Exhale, soften. You're not taking the top shoulder forward like this. You're trying to inhale, keep it open. Exhale, soften. These are quite strong postures. Build up strength, build up balance, build up awareness. Breathe slowly and deeply. You don't have to stay in them for so long until you build up the strength. So when you feel you've had enough, inhale as you push up. Swivel on the right heel. Swivel on the left. And take the right foot in 45, which allows you to turn around. Down on the left. Keep his legs straight. Keep your body open. Now again, I can come up and just edge out with my foot again to a more comfortable position. There we go. I'm getting a proper stretch. Keep the torso open. You can raise your arm if you wish. I'm not going to do that today, but you can raise your right arm in this position. I can show you. And you get that stretch right down and through. Inhale, stretch through and soften. You get the idea. But we'll just focus on this today. When you feel you've had enough, inhale as you come up. Swivel around with the left. Swivel around with the right. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Get that breath into the lower lobes of the lungs. Slow, smooth, and deep. Again, another couple strong postures. But if it's not for you today, you pause the video, you come back to it later or another day. I'm going to do warrior 1 and 2 because we're in this position. Swivel round on the right heel. Take the left foot around 45, which allows us to turn right around. Check. Again, my knee goes way beyond towards my toes, so I want to try it before you start, but that's better. We're going to turn the torso right around. We've got our balance because our feet are at the edge of the mat. Very simple. We're going to inhale as we raise up, lift up, and then just come down to the first point of resistance. You're keeping the back leg straight. You're trying to keep the inside of this knee, trying to overtake it outside. It prevents the knee coming into the middle of the mat, which makes you unstable. Inhale, and down we come. Inhale, lift up, and soften. Some people lift and stretch up and lean back. You can add that if you wish. Inhale, lift up, and soften. Very strong posture, this one. Inhale after you've had enough. Exhale down. We've got the left foot at 45 degrees. So we change it to pointing forward. Warrior 2. Check that you're okay with your stance. We're looking over the middle finger. Inhale, and down we come. So we're trying to keep the torso open with this one. We're not turning around. We're keeping it facing to the front, and we turn our head to the right. Inhale, stretch out through the fingertips. And then soften down. Again, strong postures, but not so complicated. Warrior two. When you've had enough, inhale as you come out. Lower the arms. Swivel in the heels to the other side. Check that your mat's not getting slippy. Check that you're fine. So we take the right foot around 45. Check that you're still okay because you will have stretched. So check that when you go down, you're still comfortable. So I've turned the right foot around. I can turn around with the hips now. Inhale as I raise up. Exhale as I come forward. So again, it can be minimal movement. Inhale as I raise up and I can just go forward like this. Forward, forward. You get the point that works for you in any particular day. And remember, inside of the knee, trying to overtake the outside, which keeps everything open. We're trying to keep his back leg locked, pushing down to the heel. To come out, push up, lower down. Take a few slow, smooth, deep breaths. And then the warrior two. So your right foot is pointing forward. You're keeping the torso open. Check again that you're comfortable with your stance. I'll go a bit wider. Torso facing forward. Stretch out the arms. Inhale. Soften down. Look over the middle finger. So you're checking that your arms are not, you're not an airplane, you're a warrior. Inhale as you stretch out. Exhale, soften. Very strong postures for the thighs. I think you get the idea. Inhale as you come out. Exhale down. Allow the body to recalibrate. Keep the legs in the same position. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. Remember, you don't have to do all these postures in this sequence. Just take the odd one that works for you and create your own sequence. Trikonasana, I believe now, yes. So we're going to swivel on the right heel. Left heel is at the edge of the mat. Again, you can keep the leg straight with this, or you can bend it, depending on where you're at. Inhale. I'm going to bend today because it's a little bit tight. As we come out, and then tip down to wherever you're comfortable. You're keeping the torso open. Inhale as you keep the torso open. Exhale as you soften. Inhale, and then soften. Again, you can see my leg isn't completely straight. If you can straighten your leg, great. You can come up and straighten the leg and you don't bend so far down any particular day. There isn't a necessarily right or wrong, as long as you do it with awareness and with the breath. And if anything doesn't feel right, you come out of it. But you get the idea. Inhale, open the torso, exhale, soften. Inhale as we come up. Stretch out. Exhale down. And to the other side, swivel on the right heel, turn on the left. Again, check. So again, because we've been stretching, each time you move to a different side, you'll get further and further. This isn't such a good position for the knee, so I can move my foot out a bit further. Inhale. Push out, push out, push out, and tilt over to wherever's comfortable. You may reach your foot, you may not, it doesn't matter. You may just reach your thigh. Inhale, stretch up, open the torso, exhale, soften. You're ready to come out, push through the left knee, up you come. Stretch out, lower down. Both feet facing forward, stand tall. Heel toe the feet together. Imagine someone has a thread at the center of your head and they're gently pulling you up. So without looking down, try and sense that your feet are parallel. You can feel uncomfortable because we don't usually stand with parallel feet. And imagine someone is gently pulling you upwards via the thread in your head. So what actually happens here is you get a slight contraction of the gluteals, you get a slight contraction of the abdominals, and the chest opens up. But it's natural, because if you slump and slowly come up, you can feel, as I'm doing this, my gluteals are working. As I'm straightening my torso, my abdominal area is tightening a little. And as I come up, there's a natural opening of the shoulders. But if you were to do these three individual things, if you were to tighten the gluteals, which I've done now, pull in the stomach, open the shoulders, you become rigid. But naturally, up you come. Standing tall. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Immerse myself in this present moment. I know it's a beautiful moment. And take an inventory. How are you feeling? Do you feel any circulation, any warmth, any tingling? Is your mind a bit calmer? Do you feel more positive than before you started? Perhaps you feel less positive, and obviously these postures are not for you. Have a look. Remember, when someone points to the moon, don't worship the finger. You're in charge of your practice. The teacher is only giving suggestions. Okay, so we'll come down into any comfortable sitting position. I like Vajrasana, which is sitting in the ankles. You can place support under your ankles, a cushion, or you can place a cushion between the ankles and your seat. If this isn't comfortable for you, sit in a chair, sit Sukhasana, the easy cross-leg posture. Find one that works for you. And we're just going to do simple pranayama, alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. So we're going to breathe in through the left nostril, wait for a natural pause, and out through the right. But you can add a count if you wish. So we'll try three or four. So we'll breathe in through the left at a count of 3 or 4, hold for 3 or 4, and then out through the right. Once you've exhaled, you wait for 3 or 4, Then you inhale through the right, out through the left. So as usual, we take our hand, we have two fingers and a thumb. So we roll down the middle two fingers, and we're left with the thumb and the ring finger to press the cartilage, the side of the nose. So we're going to close the right nostril as we inhale through the left for a count of 2, 3, 4, whatever you're comfortable with. But whichever number you inhaled with, allow the breath to remain in the body for that count. And then you close the left and exhale through the right for the same count. Again, you're allowing the breath to remain out for the count, and then inhale through the right for the same number. Allow the breath to remain in, close the right, and out through the left. So if your count is 4, you're breathing in for 4, holding for 4, out for 4. Breathing in right, holding for 4, breathing out left, holding for 4. One more round after the one that you're on. And allow the body to breathe naturally. So I've mentioned many times about the alternate nostril. The left nostril lowers you down. If you only breathe through the left, it deals on the parasympathetic nervous system, calms you down. The right nostril raises you up. That's sympathetic nervous system. That's fight or flight. So depending on your diet, depending on your stress level, depending on your health status, then these can become a bit confused. The body in a healthy condition switches about every 90 minutes. One nostril becomes more predominant. So it will keep you in a homeostatic balance, but this isn't always the case, depending on what challenges we're going through. But at any time you can take control. For example, if you can't get to sleep at night, then you close the right nostril and you just breathe through the left. So as you're lying on your pillow, you put your right side of your nose onto the pillow, and then you'll naturally breathe through the left, and that will calm you down. Easy way to remember, left nostril lowers, L lowers, parasympathetic nervous system, right nostril raises. So if you get up in the morning, you're a bit lethargic, you can't get going, even after your cup of coffee, you're sitting at the traffic lights in your car, you've got 2 minutes, you're waiting, breathe through the right nostril, close the left, breathe through the right, and it will lift you up. Don't believe a word I say, try the practices. They work, they're wonderful. Yoga is a wonderful science. Okay, we're going to finish with listening to internal noises. So if you're comfortable in this position, you can stay in this position, and we're simply going to plug our ears and listen to the internal sounds within the body. But there is another nice position we can sit in. Something different. Loosely roll up your mat. It doesn't have to be a mat. If you're in the forest, it can be a log, it can be a chair if you're on the beach. And all we're going to do is we're going to rest our elbows on our knees, and we're going to plug our ears. So we'll shut out any external sounds, middle fingers, plug your ears, and just sit comfortably. Close your eyes and listen to any internal sounds. So I'll leave you with this. That's the end of class number 52. So you now have a weekly class for a whole year, 52 classes. But as I said earlier, when someone points to the moon, please don't worship the finger. This is only my interpretation of yoga and how I like to teach it. I'm not saying this should be followed without questioning. You must question everything and find a way that works for you. Take the bits that work and ignore the rest. So I'll sit back up into Vajrasana. So I'll leave you sitting with your elbows on your knees, plug in your ears, and listen to some internal sounds. As always, thank you very much. Namaste, with much love.